Welcome to another exciting lesson on the Introduction to Mobile School Report Card. My name is Colin Sapon and I'll be your facilitator for this lesson. This particular workshop is essentially for head teachers and their IC teachers. However, teachers and education officers can also participate in this workshop since they also utilize data in decision making and implementation of educational policies. Now let's delve into it. The purpose of this workshop is to build the competencies of participants for the utilization of the Mobile School Report Card and the Harmonized Accountability Dashboard. Essentially, this training will help school administrators and other stakeholders to find answers pertaining to the Mobile School Report Card, such as what is the Mobile School Report Card, why the use of the Mobile School Report Card, who to use the Mobile School Report Card, how to use the Mobile School Report Card, and when to use the Mobile School Report Card. What are the objectives of this lesson? At the end of the lesson, participants are expected to identify both the legal and contextual frameworks of the Mobile School Report Card. You should also be able to compare and contrast between the School Report Card and the Mobile School Report Card. You should also be able to identify some objectives for the introduction of the Mobile School Report Card and then identify school data sources for the Mobile School Report Card. You should also be able to differentiate School Report Card from the Education Management Information System and then discuss the key indicators, processes, and challenges of the School Report Cards. You should be able to describe the pictorial overview of the operation, processes, as well as the benefits of the Mobile School Report Card, and then appreciate head teachers' roles and responsibilities for implementing Mobile School Report Card. Participants are expected to identify the features of the Mobile School Report Card, then after that, have hands-on practice of the Mobile School Report Card. So basically, that will be some of the key objectives expected from participants. Now let's delve into the outline of our lesson presentation. Due to some levels of technicalities and for easier understanding, the lesson has been segmented into 4 sections. So the first section shall look at the overview of the Mobile School Report Card, and we look at how to register teachers on the Mobile School Report Card. Then we quickly move on to how to report on weekly basis on the Mobile School Report Card. After that, section 4 will lead us to how, as administrators, we would be able to report school activities at the end of the term on the Mobile School Report. So let's delve into section 1. In section 1, we begin with the legal and theoretical framework of the Mobile School Report Card. Section 1 has some few objectives. It is expected that after going through the theoretical and the legal framework, participants should be able to identify the theoretical perspective of the Mobile School Report Card, identify the legal framework of the Mobile School Report Card, identify the data sources compilation, and how these indicators are calculated. The teachers' roles and responsibilities for implementing Mobile School Report Card should be identified by participants. Legal framework of the Mobile School Report Card. The introduction and operationalization of any educational intervention has always received legitimate backing by both international and national laws, policies, reforms, etc. Similarly, the introduction of the Mobile School Report Card is guided by the Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, Education Strategic Plan 2018-2030, and the Ghana Accountability for Learning Outcome Project and the Compass Project as well. The Sustainable Development Goals 2015 or 2030 has 17 goals to transform our world. And as we know, education in Ghana is linked to the realization of both national, international, or global goals, whether immediate, short term, or long term. And Ghana, being a member of UNESCO since September 2015 and subsequent adoption of the 17 Global Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets, Ghana is mandated to put in measures to realize these universal goals, especially Goal 4, through the formulation and implementation of a number of educational reforms, plans, policies, programs of education, etc. On the national front, Ghana, just like sister countries, has also shown global commitment to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promotion of lifelong learning opportunities for all. That is one of the SDGs 2030 from 2018 to 2030. And to achieve this goal, Ghana has adopted the utilization of technology for data collection, harmonization, and the utilization for the purposes of decision making and planning. And the introduction of mobile school report card to provide indicators for measuring SDGs, these SDGs. Additionally, Ghana has developed and is operationalizing effective strategic plan to realize national goals and the SDGs as evidence in the development of the Education Strategic Plan 2018 to 2030 and other cascading education reforms across all the various subsectors of the education sector of Ghana since 2018. So it's not only the mobile school report card has not received the backing from only the SDGs, but also another important plan, which is the Education Strategic Plan 2018 to 2030. The Education Strategic Plan sets out the vision and policies for realizing the ambition of transforming Ghana into a learning nation by 2030. It recognizes the strengths and weaknesses of the current system and prescribes strategies to address the challenges in order to give every Ghanaian child the opportunity to succeed and contribute to national development. So, Education Strategic Plan has put Ghana on the roadmap towards meeting the Sustainable Development Goals, since it lays out Ghana's vision and goals for the education sector up to 2030, and also detailing all strategies for how to reach these goals. This plan drives our education agenda in the country and a mechanism to realize our SDGs. The ESP is a working document, anyway, that is embedded in the planning processes from the district to the national level, and the execution of this plan will shape the future of Ghanaian education to achieve better learning outcomes for national development, to realize the SDGs and the national goal of producing the relevant human capacity needs of the country. The plan has introduced comprehensive education management reforms as well as reforms on different levels of education. These management reforms include, but not limited to, operationalization of pre-tertiary teacher professional management development framework, school supervision and inspection, basic education decentralization, public or private partnership initiative, GES institutional reform, legal, institutional and regulatory reform, and also other reforms such as pre-tertiary education curriculum reform, secondary education reform, teacher education reform, TVET reform, tertiary education reform, or ICT in education reform. So basically, to realize the SDGs and the national goal of producing the relevant capacity needs of the country, these reforms have been put in place. However, it is interesting to note that the goals of the ESP and the objective of the reforms require the utilization of efficient and up-to-date data for use by all stakeholders from the school, communities, district, region, and national levels, and the introduction of the mobile school report card to measure the success rate of the strategic goals or the various subsectors of the education system. Typically, or examples of the strategic goals for the various subsectors have been identified in the strategic plan. So in each of these subsectors, basic education, we are to improve equitable access to and participate in quality basic education for all children. So this can be achieved if you have an efficient data collection innovation that will help to measure whether these strategic goals are being achieved or otherwise. Example, if you look at the various policy objectives, you can clearly see that each of these objectives, for instance, the objective 1 shown over here, improvement in the effectiveness of community-based structures to strengthen their supervisory functions. And the challenge in the SMCs in most basic schools are not operational, and therefore DOCs and MEOCs are also ineffective. So to activate and make sure that these schools support structures work effectively, all these interventions have been put in place. But after that, whether they are being successful or otherwise, we will determine the use of an initiative that will help to improve data collection and dissemination for use and managed by local education provision in Ghana. It is believed that when the mobile school report card is activated and implemented fully, it will help to improve data collection, dissemination, and use to effectively manage our education, and also help to measure our achievements to ascertain whether Ghana is meeting the objectives and the goals of the ESP 2018-20, as well as the universal SDGs or otherwise. Similarly, key objectives, policy objectives, and the challenges would also be surmounted based on decision making, accurate and reliable data, and decision making in our various management levels and by stakeholders in the country. So from the legal perspective and backing of the mobile school report card, let's delve into the theoretical framework of the mobile school report card. The school report card data collection tool was introduced into the GES and piloted in 2010. It was later expanded to all basic schools between 2011 and 2013. The school report card was a paper-based system that provides a process for collecting relevant information concerning pupils, teachers, and management at the school level. The data collected on paper is then entered into a computer software application for analysis for report generation. The information or data compiled via the school report card system provide basis for analyzing the current situation in the school and across all schools within the district. In 2014, however, the Ghana Education Service has support from UNICEF and subsequently commissioned the development of an Android-based mobile phone application. The mobile school report card with the aim of addressing the observed weaknesses associated with the paper-based school report card, which was developed in 2011 to help capture relevant information relating to the teaching and learning environment in basic schools. Implementation of the mobile school report card began in 2015 in 3 districts and expanded progressively to 20 districts, covering 1,880 schools by the end of March 2018. Subsequently, a study was commissioned to evaluate the effectiveness of the mobile report program. The result highlighted its relative capacity in producing more reliable, quick, and up-to-date school-level data on key education indicators, triggering interest among key actors regarding further expansion of the program to the new districts. To prepare the grounds for this expansion, this research commissioned by UNICEF was not only to examine the functionality of the mobile report card app and web-based plan, but also the extent to which data generated from the mobile report card has been effectively used in decision-making processes within the education management structure. The evidence shown that the mobile report card has indeed helped in promoting community participation and social accountability in education management. So, clearly, the mobile school report card is an essential in ensuring that we are able to obtain reliable and accurate data, real time, and subsequently make decisions. But it's not backed by only that the various or identify sustainable development goals and that of the ESP, but also has been adopted for use to improve learning outcomes in our low performing schools. So similarly, both Ghana Accountability for Learning Outcomes Project and the Community Participation for Sustainable School for All Compass projects, which support the operationalization of the mobile school report card to deliver effective and efficient data collection and utilization for effective management of our schools. These programs or interventions indeed has overall goals and objectives. So it is believed that with the use of the mobile school report card, with support from Gallup and Compass, we'll be able to improve the quality of low-performing basic education schools and also strengthen education sector equity and accountability in Ghana. How would this be envisaged or achieved? Clearly, in our education system, has some challenges in education services delivery, access and quality, systems and accountability, policy inadequacy, school health and child protection issues. However, the mobile school report card would help in providing information relative to the various activities or inputs being implemented in our schools, such as strengthening the teaching and learning through support and resources for our teachers, strengthening school support and management and resourcing, strengthening accountability system for learning, technical assistance, institutional strengthening, monitoring and research, and to also provide support in the national COVID-19 response for continuing learning, recovery, and resilience in our basic education system. So it is believed that when the Gallup and Compass mobile school report card works to help to identify challenges, introduce appropriate input to activities to yield positive outcomes that will result great impact on basic education in the country, and there's no doubt about it. Additionally, the Gallup project has some performance-based conditions, and it is believed that with the mobile school report card in place, it will help to improve accountability for learning in public basic schools, and that will be used, especially data from it will be utilized by CISOs and head teachers in taking decisions that will help to improve learning outcomes in their schools. Currently, the mobile school report card data has been linked to other data systems within the GES and the Ministry of Education. As part of the Gallup intervention, the GES is also expanding the mobile school report card initiative as one of the accountability tools for all schools nationwide. All schools and districts on the mobile school report card will continue to submit data and promote data utilization. And then head teachers of schools would also be trained as data collectors to support expanded implementation of the mobile school report card. So just as you are going through this training, it will help you or ginger you, give you the necessary expertise to be able to utilize the mobile school report card, not only to collect data and transmit them, but also use them in decision making at the various school levels and also at the district level. So in the Ghanaian context, the school report card initially was used as a tool for accountability, and that is teachers' output of work, use of school resources, stakeholder participation. So it was a tool to identify and also account how teachers are working in the schools, how school resources are being utilized, and how stakeholders, especially the SMCPT, etc., are also participating in the management of the school. People's performance tracking, monitoring, baseline data for planning. So ideally, the school report card was used to track people's performance and also monitor the activities in the school. And then after that, data derived were used and currently being used for planning, especially for the preparation and development of quality-oriented school performance improvement plans, and also at the school level, then also utilization for planning at the district level during ADIO. So the overall goal for introducing the school report card was, as I said earlier on, was to improve children's learning outcomes. Why were we using, or why are we using the school report card? We are using the school report card because we want to strengthen district circuit and school governance and accountability structures. As I said, DIOC needs information from the schools. SMC, school boards also need information from the schools so that it will help in proper accountability, democracy, and transparency. Decision taking will also be based on data, not by hearsay or by anybody's imagination or opinion or suggestion, but will be based on data from the school. It will also help to provide efficient and effective information management, real-time data collection, planning, and support in our schools. Then the SRC will also help to provide information on school performance management processes, such as supervision of teaching and learning, and also for taking decisions. To also help to provide information to be used to support management decisions at the district and school level, including teaching and learning. It is also believed that with the introduction of the school report card, it will help to determine the coverage of teaching and learning to assess people performance. Now, the school report card and the education management information system, are there any overlaps? Well, both the school report card system and the MES are both systems for collecting data, but each has its own purpose for data collection and utilization. So data collected via the school report card was or is essentially on quality of teaching and learning. So data from school report card basically gives us indication or an indicator on quality of teaching and learning, and it is school centered, school by school, and it is done on timely submission of data. On the other hand, the MES or the education management information system gives data on every aspect of education, and it is also district focused, and then it is done once a year. So clearly, these are the only few differences. Key indicators of the school report card. Some of the key indicators captured on the school report card but are not limited to pupil enrollment, pupil attendance, teacher attendance, textbooks, units or lessons covered, average pupil performance in core subjects. Then we have average pupil performance in core subjects such as mathematics, English, and Ghanaian languages. Now let's look at the processes of the school report card. How does the school report card works? Well, it functions from the school level when a copy of the school data captured format template is sent to the schools. Then after that, the head teacher begins by filling a copy of the school data capture format. Then after that, the submission of the format of the template to the district education office. When that is done, data from the SDCF are entered into the school report card software at the district level. Data is analyzed into graphs and tables in a generated report card and printed on A4. Then after that, hard copy of the school report card are sent to the schools for dissemination through spam and for use for the preparation of course slips. So these are where the processes of the school report card. Were there any challenges associated with these processes? Yes, because it increased the workload of district planning and statistics officers, high cost of stationery for printing of DSCF and school report cards, delayed submission of completed SDCF, particularly from schools in remote areas, then use of information in regards to timeline purpose, leading to difficulty in making decisions. These were some of the challenges associated with the school report card. So what is the mobile school report card? The small m over here indicating that there has been some innovation. So the mobile school report card, therefore, is a mobile electronic-based data collection and analysis tool. How was it developed and what is its use? The development and use of mobile school report card is an introduction to remove the paper-based data collection and utilization in our education system. The mobile school report card application was developed by a Ghanaian-based company that is TechMec Limited. It was designed to ensure effective data collection and analysis that is devoid of inaccuracies. The system actually is developed and to be used to collect data and utilize other data such as school visits and for school reviews. The use of the mobile school report card app is essential for data collection and utilization. The teachers are therefore to be equipped with a mobile or phone tablet containing a user-friendly MSRC checklist. The schools are once registered and incorporated in the mobile school report card app become available on the phones. Then with the help of the mobile phones or tablets, head teachers will directly enter the school data into the mobile and submit in real time via the internet to the central server. Head teachers who are equipped with this technology and also the application and subsequently using the mobile school report card application on their phones will be able to enter school data into the mobile app on real time using the internet. Then when this information or data is submitted, can then be accessed by the district, regional, and national officers for monitoring, analysis, and reporting, as well as for decision making. Now let's look at the pictorial overview of how the mobile report card operates. So basically, the app initially was to be on the Google Play or the Play Store where users will download and install on their phones. Then once it is on their phones, they can utilize their phones to feed information. Then after that, once information is submitted or through their phones on the app, it goes to the central server. Analysis are done over here. Then after that, it is shown on the national dashboard to give overview performance of the schools and also show stakeholders the challenges and the way forward as far as the implementation of educational policies in our education system. So the mobile school report card data processes. The mobile school report card data goes through these processes. Data collection goes through these processes. So from the schools where data is collected from the school by the head teachers and fed into their mobile phone software, that's the MSR app. Then it sends to the server. Data is instantly becomes available on the web and accessible with login ID and password. Data is checked by district education officers. Then it compiled and can be used at the various administrative levels, such as the school level, district level, and what have you. Then after that, it is also seen here that whenever this data is analyzed, feedback is sent to the schools and also to the head teachers and the circuit supervisors, who then use it to improve the school activities or school performance. Should there be any challenges? So ideally, the mobile school report card is to provide supportive supervision. Supportive supervision. The mobile school report card has some benefits. Indeed, it is believed that it will minimize the paper-based school report card by improving the accuracy of data submitted or captured. Data information can also be exported into Microsoft Excel or portable data format PDF for further analysis. The mobile school report card will also provide real-time feedback for improved decision-making and effective planning processes. Then after that, it will enable stakeholders to share information about the school's relative performance to others in the education sector and also track progress in the school towards mutually established objectives. Now let's move on to how the application looks like. The mobile application interface looks like this. So it requires authentication by the administrators, whether at the school level, at district level, or the regional level, to input their phone numbers or their key, then their password over here. After that, they log in. Once they log in, they have this interface before it opens to the main menu. The web application can be accessed at www.msrcghana.org/admin. So once you key into the browser, then the web application will open purposely for one to view the dashboard. And you can have access to the msrcghana.org web application when you have the right login credentials, such as username and password. So restricted to only individuals who have right credentials. And this is how the interface looks like. This is the sample of the school report card. And also sample report from the dashboard. Now, as a head teacher or an admin of the mobile school report card, you are expected to possess some basic computing or IT or internet skills to be able to use the application. So you should be able to manipulate or have the ability to manipulate or use mobile devices. High level of commitment, motivation, and dedication is also required from you. You must be able to submit data regularly using the app, and then basic data analysis and interpretation skills is also required, because the data submitted and information processed, once you have them, you should be able to do some basic analysis and interpret the information on the dashboard to stakeholders to know the true state or performance of the schools. Can the app be used on all gadgets? No. So the app needs some basic gadget requirement for it to be able to be efficient. And these requirements include, well, if you are using a phone, then you must have an Android. So the application can run on only Android operating systems. Preferred Android required is API 16 Jelly Bean. Recommended system requirements include 1 GB RAM. So you must have at least 1 GB RAM on your phone, and as a processor, then must also have 1 GB storage free to be able to utilize the application on your mobile phone. If you are using the Windows, since the application can also run on the Windows desktop, then you are required to have a minimum operating system such as Windows 7. And with Windows 7, you must have a system requirement such as 2 GB RAM, 1 processor, 1 GHz processor, 16 GB available hard disk space to be able to run the application on your Windows desktop. So clearly, the application can be used or runs on both Android devices and desktop Windows desktop devices. The mobile school report card application comes in three versions. We have the mobile Android version, the Windows desktop version, the web application with data visualization and report generation. So the mobile Android version is used on the mobile phone. The desktop version used on your computer. Then the web application, you need a browser to run it. Data can be submitted also using both the mobile and desktop versions of the app. So once you install the application on your phones or your computer desktop, you can submit the data. On the other hand, the web application used to view the analyzed data and to generate the report card for schools and offices. Is the application accessible by all? Well, the mobile school report card app requires login credentials, and that include user ID or mobile number, email address registered on the app. Then you also need a password that will authenticate. So we have system generated by the app. For you to have access to it, you need internet. To You must have internet before you can log in. Data submission and transmission to the server is done over the internet. And the app can store data temporarily for later transmission when internet is not up. Data submission is in two parts. Weekly, such as people enrollment, attendance, teacher attendance, exercise giving and marked. Termly, submissions such as funds covered by each of the teachers, number of textbooks for the various grades, school facilities, meetings, staff, SMC, PTA, General Assembly meetings. You must also know that termly data is submitted only at the end of the school term or semester. We are done with data submission, so let's quickly move on to what data is required and where we can get this data from. How are they compiled and the various calculation indicators that will help us determine the performance of the school. The mobile school report card app relies on data. Data is inputted on the mobile school report card on weekly and termly basis. Hence, administrators are required to report on weekly and termly basis activities in their schools. These include student data such as student enrollment. So administrators are supposed to provide student enrollment on weekly basis, student attendance. If the school is a special school, then provide data on special needs enrollment, special needs attendance, teacher registration, teacher attendance, class management, monitoring church list report that will help us to identify whether all these information being put on the app are really what it is supposed to be. Where are we going to get all this information from? You can get it from admission register, attendance register, teacher, your pay slip, logbook, teacher time book, attendance chart, appraisal forms, teacher lesson notes and observation appraisal forms, etc. And also reports. On timely basis, these data are required. So at the end of the term, all schools are expected to submit the number of units or strand covered for all the teachers, all the classes in the school, then the number of textbooks in the school, people performance, basically average, below average, and above average, school management, types of support grants received, sanitation, security issues, the recreational activities. Where do you get this data from? Lesson notes, textbooks, exercise book, inventory book, school-based assessment, cumulative record books, logbook, staff minute book, bank statement, financial ledger, store receive advice book, end of term report, PTA, meetings minutes, spam report, etc. So you get family data from these sources. Now let's look at school indicators. The performance of a school is determined by some of these indicators. So Properly provision of the data as required on weekly and termly periods will help to identify attendance rates in your school, textbooks per pupil ratio, people per furniture, average performance per subject, pupil-teacher ratio, percentage of trained teachers, and also other indicators such as percentage of units covered by subject, percentage of teacher punctuality. Normally, we call it attendance rate, percentage of exercise given per subject, then percentage of exercise marked per subject. All these indicators would be realized with the correct provision of data on weekly and termly basis. Now let's look at the roles of head teachers in ensuring that the mobile school report card application utilized for efficient collection and utilization of data. Head teachers would have to ensure the submission of weekly data by close of work on Monday of the ensuing week. So if we just completed week 1, then on Friday or Saturday of the week 1, you enter the weekly data or you submit the weekly data. You must also ensure the submission of terminal semester data by the last day of the term or semester. So if today is when the term is ending, then you must ensure that by the close of that day or the day, just the day after, you submit data on termly basis. Ensure that there is enough credit also on your modem or on your phone, especially if you are using a modem or a dongle. If you don't have, then you are using your phone, then you must make sure that your phone also has data. You must check and install periodic update at least once every month. So you check if the app is on the Google Play or Play Store, you go there and update. If it's not there, then you contact your district admins to find out if there is an update. Then you can update to ensure that your application is up to date to avoid any future challenges or inconveniences. You must also, as a head, report challenges with your device immediately to the district administrators and SESSION. If by any means you are unable to submit your data because of some challenges, then you must also contact your district administrators or SESSION of any issue concerning the mobile connectivity. The head teacher is supposed to locate the nearest area with connectivity to ensure timely submission of data. On this note, we have come to the end of this particular section. Thank you very much. As we move on to the next section of the mobile school report card. Bye.